Red Rover, send Rodimus right over. Why, hello and good afternoon, everybody. I am Brian, and I want to give you my impressions on the Planet X Vulcan figure. This is Planet X's Fall of Cybertron Grimlock. That is a repro label that is very shiny. And I like this figure. Spoilers for my final thoughts, I like it. Surprisingly, I bought something I like. Anyway, this is Planet X's version of Fall of Cybertron Grimlock to replace Hasbro's not as spectacular as most would have liked version that they put out some years ago. Let's talk about the box. The inside of the box has the standard Planet X interior where it's just a cardboard thing with Grimlock's chest-ish area. And I love these boxes because it's cool to just grab a smaller little figure and use this as a backdrop for pictures and whatnot. Also in the box is Grimlock's sword and shield, and this is a much bigger version of the sword and shield than the Hasbro version. Also, I love the fact that on the back of the shield there is a port for a post on the sword to store it all together. That makes things so nice and wonderful. And in storage, there's only one spot. You take this post and you plug it into his shoulder thigh thingy, and that's all you get. That's kind of silly, but that's not... What else could you have done with this? I don't really know. On Grimlock Vulcan himself, let's talk about some articulation. For starters, his head is on a swivel so it can rotate. It can go up and down. It can even go left and right. No, I can't. No, I can't. No, I can't. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. His mouth opens. His tongue flips down. And his tongue is a little itty bitty flamethrower. That is just so cool. His teeth are usually sharp. Just like normal for Planet X. Sharp and dangerous and stabifying. So be careful. Ow! That actually did hurt. Moving downward, he has itty bitty T-Rex arms that are on a swivel, so they can swivel around. They can do 360, but you have to, watch out for the leg. He has, it can also go out that far, so it can go, hi, how you doing? Hi guys, I'm Grimlock. Hi, Red Rover, send Rodimus right over. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. He has an elbow joint, as you just saw, because he can wave his hand. He has an elbow joint. It's just a pin disc, so it's a swivel. He's also got articulated fingers, which are actually just combined together, so they move as one. Till all are one. Fingers. Touchdown! On to, well, let's do this. His thingies back here. Okay, let's just go ahead and call these butt cheeks because they're basically butt cheeks. His butt cheeks can move slightly and have thrusters in them that do not move. So really, if you're trying to replicate the scenes from the game where he was using these to go forward faster, you kind of can't. But his legs are his robot mode arms, so thus they can go full 360. They can go outwards, none, because of the pylon. However, you pop the pauldron out of the slots that it tabs into, and then you can get some more outward movement. Not a lot, to be honest. Nothing really you can do to get a good outward motion on it. And it just shifts up and down for the transformation. In robot mode, it stays up like that. He's got a bicep swivel above the knee, because that's a thigh swivel in this mode. His knee actually has like two joints. So it's got the joint there. Go forward there. So, joint right here that opens up like that and is kind of cool. You've got a proper knee joint right there, which gives you a decent range of motion, but the extra one gives you just a little bit more. Not really super necessary in dinosaur mode, but hey, any articulation is good. His feet can go like this. They can go backward and forward quite a little ways. Not a huge amount, but more than more than honestly what I would have expected. His toes can flap in kind of useless directions, but his legs are more articulated than really was necessary for dinosaur mode. Granted, that's probably more of a thing to do with his robot mode parts, but hey, whatever. I'm still glad to have it. Why did I just realize he has buck teeth? Great, now I'm never going to be able to not see bucked teeth on this Grimlock. But the most glorious point of articulation, you've seen me messing with it. You've seen it in the Triton paddles video. It's his tail. I love this tail so much. It's so much fun to just waggle it and wiggle it and wag it. So points there, point there, point there. So 3 points of articulation that allow it to go left and right. And it splits in half. Like half of it goes into each leg when he goes into robot mode. And the fact that this tail moves and splits in half, and I love this tail. So his dinosaur mode articulation is great. Thanks. I'm gonna need you to send that TPS report to me by Thursday. Thanks. Oh, and we're moving you to the basement. Yeah. Grimlock, Dick Boss. Coming this fall to CBS. I don't know what's going on anymore. Alright, so that's basically all there is to say about his articulation. Let's throw in some size comparisons. Alright, let's start off with some stuff that's not particularly relevant to him. There is Planet X Chromia. He's a Dinobot. Everything's going to be relevant to him, Brian. So yeah, she's kind of small. This would be a fun little... I don't know what's going on here. What is it with Grimlocks jumping on fembots? Don't know. That's a reference to my Triton video if you haven't seen it. Moving on, here is Prowl from Combiner Wars, thus one of the more ubiquitous molds. You can see he's pretty big. Actually, this does seem kind of Jurassic Park size scale. Maybe a little bit too small for Grimlock, because if like a person was this big, that does seem to kind of line up with the whole scene of he sees by movement. No, he doesn't. So yeah, T-Rexes don't see by movement. That's dumb. That's not how eyes work. To show off a Voyager, here is Pura Magna from the Torchbearers, aka Victorion box set. This is a much more fair fight, it would seem. Still slightly relevant, we have Mastermind Creations Serficus Promenon, aka IDW Nova Prime, who is very much a Cybertronian mode truck. And yeah, I approve of this scale. This looks pretty cool to me. But really, a more accurate scale to what he was in the video game would be to Shapeshift Inc.'s Sky Snake, I believe is what this thing was called. This is a smaller version of Fall of Cybertron Starscream, and this is much closer to what they actually were in game. And Grimlock was freaking huge in game. Like, look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Nom 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 nom. But speaking of the game, let's throw in some game characters. There is War for Cybertron Optimus Prime, who is the better version of Optimus Prime from the games. I don't like the Fall of Cybertron version of either the figure or the... well, no, the figure's okay, but the design is not as good as this for Optimus. So, this is my Optimus. Meow. Here's Shockwave. This is the guy who made him. Not really accurate to scale for the game, but hey, I don't care. It looked good enough to me. And really, a robotic dinosaur is not supposed to be a disguise, so hey, I'm okay with scale differences here. And if you only have the Hasbro Deluxe, here is the Hasbro version. Much smaller. Still has a light-up feature, which is still cool, but so much better. So much better. I still don't think this is a bad toy. I still don't care about the gappy underside, because I don't look at toys like this. When I set him down, I see a dinosaur. An imperfect dinosaur, yes, but I'm still okay with this. I didn't need this, but I am so glad to have this. 1 Dinobot, 2 Dinobot, 3 Dinobot, 4, 5, 6 Dinobots, including paddles. This is fantastic looking. These guys look amazing together. Like, just freaking look at this. Look at this! All of these guys are so amazing. Cardboard. These guys look great. I'm so glad Planet X made all these guys. These are the Dinobots we deserve. Or at least these are the Dinobots I wanted. I don't know if we deserve them, but I wanted them. So, thank you so much, Planet X, for making these for us. So, the paintwork on this guy, as you can see, like, stands up to all the standards of Planet X has given us in the past. This guy does not break the mold as far as paint applications go, but he still, like, is par of the course for really good. So, I like the paint on him. He looks good. But I believe that is basically everything there is to say about his vehicle, his dinosaur mode. That's not a vehicle. So, what do you say we transform and roll out and get him into his robot mode? Yeah, let's transform into robot mode. Ready, set, ground pound. Ground pound. He's not transforming. I guess I have to do it myself then. Be back in a moment. Do. Na 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 na. Any dinosaur that can't do the Jurassic Park pose is not a real dinosaur. Alright, sometimes I have an idea for a pose that doesn't really work out as well as I hoped it would. And sometimes I have an idea for a pose that works out far better than I expected it to. This is the latter. He's grabbing Starscream by the head, slammed him against one wall, now he's about to slam him into another into the ground. A couple of dead Decepticons on the background. This one looked cool. And kablam! Here he is in his robot mode, looking all Spartanific and knightish and glorious. He can hold his shield and sword, although I think that makes him a little front heavy, to be honest, but that may be just me having a bad pose at the moment. You can, of course, take these out. The sword does have this hinge here to flip out, and that's how you get it into people's hands. And then you flip it back. And I love that you can put the sword onto the shield via that post and that port, and have storage for it. And then you can take this and put it onto his back via that post and to that port. Or you could put it like on his shoulders via that one, but I think that looks the best, to be honest. If you want to have storage on your figure itself. But that definitely makes him a bit more back heavy, so you have to adjust things, make him stand straight, and look all cool. And there you go. Oh, in case you wanted to see it, there's the original, or this is Planet X's version. There's the original. Significant difference in size. And for the swads, there's Planet X's, and there is the original Hasbro's. Now, if you wanted, you could take the Hasbro one and give it to Kalis/Swoop, and that doesn't look too bad for him. Actually looks rather good for him. Hey, he does have a forearm post. Kind of. I didn't think he had. So I guess you could do that, and that doesn't look too awful. If you could turn his wrist, if this was a ball joint for some reason instead of a swivel joint, you could definitely kind of make this look actually kind of decent. But that's what you could do with the original if you wanted. And I know a lot of people are upset about Kalis not having clear swords. There we go. That was a little tight. But on Vulcan himself, let's do a quick rundown of his articulation, shall we? His head is on a ball joint, and you get some side-to-side motion. Actually, let's get a close-up of the head, shall we? That is a very nice head sculpt. I do like this head sculpt. I do really like this head sculpt a whole lot, because I don't know, I think just the thinner head really like kind of works for me. But this is undoubtedly a good, great, fantastic Grimlock head sculpt. And the light piping on it isn't as good as, unfortunately, the other Dinobots. Like, I'm blocking it, it doesn't really do too much. So that's a little disappointing, but it's still a great head sculpt. It can move down just a little bit, it can move up just a little bit. I like that it can at least go side to side, so you can get like a good, oh, I don't understand that. Me Grimlock, not dumb. Me Grimlock have speech impediment. That's what they went with in the game. To continue on with his articulation, his arms can do a full 360. You might have to pay attention to the stuff on the backpack. They can go out and knock his head a bit. They have a bicep swivel. They have a double jointed elbow, so one joint there and another joint there at the actual elbow. So that gives you a good range of motion on the arm itself. His hand is on a ball joint. No, his hand is not on a ball joint. It's on a swivel joint. And has 4 fingers that are all molded together and freely moving on one axis themselves. I don't know if that sentence made sense. I'm going to go with it. It's my video. I can do what I want. I do what I want. He's got a waist joint. But the dino head kind of gets bumped around as you use it. And without the dino head there, he does kind of have a weird like silhouette. But the dino head's supposed to be there, so luckily you don't have to necessarily worry about that. He does have thighs. Well, the thigh swivel is just above the knee, but actually I was referring to leg motion going forward that far. These don't really stay in very well, so it kind of like breaks up a lot and just kind of like you have to keep messing with the bottom of the feet. Arrgh. Anyway, his legs can go forward that far. They can go back that far. They could go farther if you really want to like mess with things. I actually suspect you probably get a full 360 on that leg. They can go out. That seems to be about the range of it. He's got the thigh swivel that I mentioned. He's got the standard double jointed knee thingy. So let's see how far we can get with using the actual knee. That's a decent 90 degrees. If we use the double jointed knee and get some stuff out of the way, you can get like a little bit more, I guess. Nah, that's about what you're going to get. About 90 degrees is what you're going to get. Because there's just too much tail back here, kind of like messing with stuff. His toes are on a ball joint, so you can move them around, but the rest of his foot isn't. So he's sitting on the back of his tail, but really on the front of the... Oh wait, no, hey, I forgot. He's got a heel spur that this one... That on this foot isn't out, but it's on the other one. I really wish they had some way to get these heel spurs out better. Really, these heel spurs don't really do anything as far as I can tell, because he's always going to be on the back of his tail rather than on the heel. And so since that's on the ball joint, that actually does give some heel support on that, but really you're going to be resting stuff on the tail itself. But at least you can make it look like he's standing flat. So I'm always approving of at least fake ball joints. If you can't do actual ball jointed feet, I'm okay with fake ones. What do you mean we have fake ball joints? So he is a pretty opposable figure. Let's go ahead and start off with Chromia, who's my yardstick, and she's smaller. She is definitely smaller. Let's throw Prowl in there as well as a Combiner Wars Prowl, showing off the Combiner Wars stuff. And if we're going to show off Combiner Wars, let's swap this out for Pura Magna from the Victorion set, the Torchbearers. So you can see that Vulcan is actually bigger than a modern Voyager, so that's really kind of cool. He's big and beefy. I approve. Because I have them available, why not? Here is Seraphicus Promenon, aka IDW Prima Prime at the moment, but with his armor he is Nova Prime. In his video, I will show off Vulcan with an armored version of him, just to show you the size comparison with that. But let's kick things off with some actual game comparisons, and here is about as close as you can get to game accurate, I think, as you're going to be able to get. Because remember, Grimlock grabbed him by the chest Basically, his hand took up this entire chest in the game, and then threw him. So so Starscream should actually be like that tall. Yeah. Grimlock is freaking huge. But this did not look horrible to me, so I did not disapprove of this size scale, and I rather like it. But since he made him, there is Shockwave, and we'll also throw in War for Cybertron Optimus, who is my preferred game version of the figure. No, that sentence didn't make sense at all. That's War for Cybertron Optimus, the game version of Optimus that I like the most, because I don't like the Fall for Cybertron design, and the figure for the Fall of Cybertron design is just okay to me. But hey, these guys look good together. Grimlock is towering, impressive, and just, yay, thumbs up. I already showed off the head comparison, but there is the size comparison with the Hasbro Grimlock. Yeah, Vulcan's bigger. By, what, a head and a half, it seems? But let's go ahead and get all the Dinobots in together for one last group shot. Because I don't think there's going to be any more Dinobots, and I don't think I'm going to be doing any more videos about Dinobots from Planet X. So let's do one final group shot on all the Dinobots. Yes! All 6. Ah! I'm looking forward to this. Ta-da! 6 Dinobots all in a row. Just, oh, I love these guys. They are... Thank you, Planet X, for doing these for me. I love these. I love having these. I love having all 6 of them. They are just, oh, so nice. You got a whole bunch of different sizes in there. Well, not a whole bunch of different sizes, but different sizes in there, so they're different heights. Just, oh, I like it. 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 I do like it. Even if the size is now kind of wonky because Grimlock was not that tall in the game compared to the other Dinobots. He actually was about this tall in the games. So that's kind of where they were building their size from, was Hasbro Grimlock. So the new Grimlock does, the Vulcan does kind of throw the scale off. But I guess it's close enough that I'm very willing to buy it. Because, like, I see this and I go, eee! I have a smile on my face and just make weird noises with my mouth face. I'm pleased with these guys. The paint on this guy is amazing, just like everything Planet X does. The detail, the transformation, everything is just fantastic with this thing. Oh, I should point out, that's a repro label. An Autobot logo is a repro label. On the transformation itself, unfortunately, he's a little bit actually disappointing. Just a smidge. His tail does cool things, but it does, like, you have to, like, bend it past his thighs, and that's kind of scary. And getting the feet all worked up. Like, I pop these feet off these ball joints every freaking time. And it's really hard to get them back on. And so it's really kind of annoying to do that part. But the end result is a really, really good looking dinosaur. So I'm not going to fault it too much. I wish the head didn't flap around like this. I'm just wish they could have locked it in somehow. I love the way the arms transform in a way that I didn't expect them to. Like, the transformation was just really kind of cool in this guy. Not, like, the best transformation ever, but I found enjoyment in it. And I guess that's really kind of leading into my final thoughts on this figure. And I guess I'll give my final thoughts on the Planet X Dinobots as a whole. These guys have been an amazing journey to go on. I definitely have learned that Planet X is not somebody to really trust what they say, as bad as that sounds. Like, I fully know that they are, like, diehard fans and really probably awesome people, but they don't necessarily think before they speak. And their heart is in the right place, but they might not have the best ability to, they might not really understand everything they're trying to do. So, at least communication-wise, I don't necessarily trust what Planet X says or does until I see a prototype of something. But when they give me a toy and I get a toy in hand from them, I'm always completely in love with it. So Planet X will basically always have my money. I just don't necessarily know if I'll believe what they say. I find it difficult to get him to actually, like all these Dinobots, I actually kind of get difficult to figure out how to align the legs to be in a good stance. Like, I'm constantly like adjusting one click on these joints. So that's kind of what bugs me, but that's really kind of an issue with all the Dinobots that they did. But on Vulcan itself, I love how articulated he is. I love the presence on him. I do kind of like, yes, I realize this is more game accurate, but I do kind of miss the thinned down version of the Hasbro release. I don't know, this is just big and bulky to me, which is what he was in the game, admittedly, yes. But I found some charm and something to like in the thin version that Hasbro had. And while I will not say that the Hasbro version is anyway better than Vulcan, there were certain elements of the Hasbro version that I liked. But for me, these Planet X Dinobots have been an absolute amazing ride to go on. I was ecstatic when they announced Kahless and put him out, and like I said, Planet X has my money. They know how to do these well. They may not be like absolutely perfect. There's always going to be like some weird nitpicks that I'm going to have with them, like the lack of really particularly good feet. But they are putting out great things. What I would really, 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 really like is some more Decepticons, but really what I want is a Rodimus. I'm a Rodimus fanboy, so if I can get a DS version of that Rodimus, a figure of the DS version of Rodimus, that would be amazing to me. I'd love some of the Stunticons. Heck, I just love anything more for the video games. Those designs are like amazing to me. I love those designs. Vulcan is a fantastic way to end the video series on the Planet X Dinobots. So, good job, Planet X. You get thumbs up from me, and I hope you guys like them too. But I am actually curious to know what you guys think about them. How do these Dinobots look to you guys? Who's the figure you would like the next? Who's the figure you would like most the next? I know who I want. I already said who I want. But I'm curious to know what you guys want. And seriously, guys, thank you. Those of you who have subscribed to us, pass the word on about us to your friends. You guys are absolutely amazing for helping us grow this channel to be more than just my videos and the Let's Plays. You guys are amazing, and you're the best audience we can ever hope for. So thank you for being wonderful to us and continuing to spread the word about us. You guys are the best. Until next time, guys, may all your giant monsters be of the mechanical variety and not the nuclear-powered variety. That's a Godzilla joke. That doesn't really joke. Yeah, I'm just gonna go away now.